What's going on, guys? I am back with my recoil video that I promised. I was supposed to come out with this on the weekend. However, I did do my live stream on Sunday, which took up a lot of my time. But I did go ahead and I went through every single fucking gun in this game. Well, every primary weapon. I didn't go through pistols or secondaries for the most part. And I went through every single recoil pattern, and I have them all written down right here. And that's what I was going to touch on today. But I just got to let you know, man, doing all that, it was a little bit of an ordeal. Anyway, let's go ahead and let's get started. So, you know, I have to say that I am a little disappointed after we went through every single recoil, because it's very clear that a lot of these guns have almost the exact same recoil patterns. For example, the ACR, the AK-12, the M4A1, the P416, and the R4. There's a little bit of an exception to the R4, but all of those basically have the same exact recoil pattern. That is that they're very accurate up to their first 5 to 7 shots, and then after that they have recoil that goes up, and then that goes vertically straight up, and then it plateaus after about 14 or 15 shots, meaning that the recoil will stop at that point if you're holding down the trigger. Now, the R4 is a slight exception because it is accurate up to its first 9 shots. Very accurate, and then after that the recoil is unpredictable and erratic. Now, there are a few things that I found really interesting on here, which I needed to point out. So, really quick, the TAR-21 and the M16 are almost the exact same gun in terms of recoil. The TAR-21 is actually better. It performs better than the M16 as far as the recoil goes, which is something that I didn't really expect. You know, I think everybody uses the M16 because of the damage factor, which is something that I did not include here, because the M16 I think does a little bit more damage, at least it feels like it does. But the TAR-21 is definitely a beast, man. One of the best guns in this game that I think would be considered overpowered if the M16 wasn't in here is the MG121. Now, you may be thinking, what the fuck is the MG121? I've never heard of that gun. That is the LMG that the Predator carries as well. It's not as good as the M16, but this thing is highly accurate up to its first 21 shots. The recoil is less erratic than every other LMG in the game. It's only challenged by the MK48, and even the MK48 can't stand up as well. The MK48 is still highly accurate up to its first 20 shots, but the recoil is erratic, and the recoil pattern is not as tight as the MG21, and the MG21 recoil does slow down over time. Now, I honestly think that the MG121 would be a contender for most overpowered gun in the game if the M16 wasn't in there. Something else that is interesting, almost every single submachine gun in this game has the exact same recoil. The PP19, the SR635, I know the SR635 isn't an SMG, it's an AR, but it looks like an SMG. The 9mm C1, the MP5, the Scorpion Evo, the P90, and the 9X19 VSN are all basically the same exact recoil. The only thing that differs there is the fire rate. So, for example, the P90 fires faster. Well, the Scorpion Evo, let's see that for example, fires faster than the MP5. Now, the MP5 is accurate up to its first 15 shots. The Scorpion Evo is accurate up to its first 11. But all of them basically have the same exact recoil. They all go up and to the right after those first 10 to 15 shots. So, yeah, whenever you're playing with those guns, you basically know what to expect. Now, there is an outlier here. That would be the 9mm C1. Its first 8 to 10 shots are accurate, slightly lower than the other weapons. And then after that, its recoil becomes completely erratic. So, two guns that I had to totally get rid of out of that SMG category because they're complete garbage are the MP7 and the MPX. They're fucking terrible. Those are the Scouts weapons. Now, let's talk about the MDR. The MDR is a laser gun. It is the most laser gun in this game. Oh my god, it almost has no fucking recoil. It's like when they were thinking about the MDR, they just thought, oh, you know what? Just take the recoil and just take it out. Let's not put it in for the MDR. That's exactly what it is. It's what it feels like. When I did this thing, I fired off a full magazine, and I was not holding my thumbstick at all. The thing just fired perfectly straight. It's insane. It may be bumped around slightly, but it is the most laser gun in this game. The most laser-like gun in this game. So if you may have noticed in the submachine gun category, I didn't point out the Vector or the PDR. There's a reason for that, because they are the best, aside from the MDR, as far as the submachine guns go. And they are almost the same as far as the recoil goes. The first 14 to 15 shots are crazy accurate. And after that, the recoil on the PDR, the recoil on the Vector is very tight. It doesn't really move a lot, but the PDR does jerk upright. But they're almost the same gun. The only thing that you're going to want to look at there is the damage and the mag size. I don't like using the PDR because I feel like it's a pea shooter, but the Vector, I feel like mows people down. And that's probably why. It's probably the damage. But anyway, the MK17 is something that I wanted to address because that's a tech weapon. And as far as I know, it's the only semi-auto except from the snipers. Well, except not, you know what I mean. It's the only single-fire rifle in the game. And this thing obviously it can have 100% accuracy because it's a fucking semi-auto. You can fire it at whatever rate you want. But what I tested it is I fired it as fast as I possibly could, and the recoil was almost perfect. It was going slightly up. That's about it. If you can train your brain to use the MK17 to fire really, really fast, like it's a full auto, man, that thing can mow people down because it almost has no fucking recoil. It's beautiful. Now, something also that I wanted to test out. This actually had no, this was actually not even part of the video really. Like, I was fucking around at this point when I was Enforcer. I pulled out the Super Shorty. I shot my partner, just to fuck around. And I was astonished by the range at which I hit them. It was 56 meters or something like that. So I decided to test the Super Shorty range. And it's insane what I came up with. It starts suppressing people at 67 meters. And its minimum damage range is 63 meters. Like, holy shit. And at 63 meters, if you get a headshot or something, that's going to take out like 40% of their health. It's insane. The Super Shorty has insane range, which is something that I never even considered. I'm thinking over here, it's a fucking shotgun. I need to be like 5 feet away from somebody in order for it to do something. Not the case. So if you're playing with Enforcer, just know that Super Shorty is almost like a fucking submachine gun. It's absolutely insane. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it give you some perspective on recoil for these guns and how to manage them and how to think about them, because I was thinking, before this video, I'm thinking there's a huge difference between the TAR-21 and the M16. But there's really not as far as recoil goes. In fact, the TAR-21 is actually more accurate. But basically, the other rifles that I listed almost have the exact same recoil pattern. They just go straight up. And just know your laser guns are going to be the MDR, TAR-21. I will throw the MG-121 in there because it is a beast. The ACR and the AK-12 aren't as accurate as I thought I thought they were beforehand. I thought the ACR was like miles above the AK-12. It's not, though. It's only a few shots more accurate before it starts kicking up with recoil. Yeah, and if anything can be taken away from this, it's to burst fire. But not just to burst fire, to specifically know which gun you're using and about how long you can get away with that fire. For the ACR, AK-12, M4A1, the P416, and the R4, you can get away with about 7 to 8 shots. You can get away with that at being highly accurate. But of course, if you're playing with the PP19, SR635, 9mm C1, the MP5, the Scorpion Evo, and the 9X19 VSN or the P90, you can get away with about 10 to possibly 15 shots, except the 9mm C1 that caps out at about 9. But you can get away with more shots at that point. So it's always important to know. And then once you go into these things, you can once you go into matches and whatnot, you can kind of test it, see exactly how long it takes you to fire off 9 shots, 10 shots, and then figure out from there which gun is going to fit you best. Because damage plays a huge role at that point. When you figure out the recoil patterns and how accurate these guns are going to be, that's where you go. But anyway, my crown for laser gun obviously has to go to the MDR. It is an absolute beast of a gun. And I mean, it makes sense because the Scout really didn't have shit going for him before that. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm super excited about the next few videos that I'm going to be bringing out. I'm going to be busting out a video about what obstacles you can shoot through with what weapons, and what obstacles you can't, because I think that's something that we all should fucking know, because there's times where I'm shooting at a door, it feels like I can't penetrate it, and then I try to shoot through a wall and I can, and I want to figure out exactly what's going on there. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you are new, make sure you subscribe and drop me a like. That's how you can support the channel. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.